Welcome to Nacho Fitness Coach,
the podcast where fitness is technically the topic, but let's be honest, we get distracted.
I'm Sarah, the fitness expert who actually understands this stuff.
And I'm Kaylee, the beginner who thinks Bulgarian split squats are a hate crime.
Every week, we break down fitness myths, call out internet nonsense, and try to make sense of the chaos.
While also going off on tangents, making bad jokes, and questioning our life choices.
If you're looking for expert advice with a side of whatever Kaylee does here,
or just need a podcast that makes you feel better about your own fitness journey,
you're in the right place.
All right, let's do this. Or, talk about doing this.
Hey there, this is Ginny with Nacho Fitness Coach, just here as a guest star and wanting to let you know that I recommend viewer discretion at all times.
So Kaylee, what do you like to listen to when you work out?
I don't know, sometimes a podcast and sometimes music.
Hey, wait, this is a podcast. What if you could have both?
At the same time?
Oh, yeah. Podbeat is a free mobile app that lets you add any beat style to any podcast for your workout. It's easy to do and free to download in the App Store. Kaylee, you sound pretty cool with the trap beat, but Sarah, the funk beat works for your voice.
So if you want to make our podcast work for a workout, check it out in the App Store.
They even have Podbeat for Android users in the Google Play Store. Okay, on to the show. Welcome back to Nacho Fitness Coach. We have a guest we're super excited about today. PJ Glassey is the founder of X Gym, a Seattle-based fitness studio known for its ultra-efficient training model. He holds a BS in exercise science, is a certified strength and conditioning specialist, and has been a personal trainer since 1987. I was only a year old.
You're such a baby.
He created the X Gym multi-protocol training method, which uses very short, high-intensity workouts, like 21 minutes, to produce major results without traditional weights, machines, or long gym sessions. The method also emphasizes neurological training, mindset, and habit change. He's also a biohacker, published author, and competitive tower runner. Yes, running up skyscrapers for sport. So welcome, PJ. We're so excited to have you on.
Thanks.
Okay, so what's the tallest skyscraper that you have ran up?
Let's just get right to it.
Let's just get right up to that. What's what everyone wants to know?
Willis. That's the old Sears Tower.
Okay.
In Chicago. Done that a couple times. That's 105, I think. And that's a bugger.
Oh my
So how does that work? I mean, do they literally just send you up like the stairwell when you do those?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah, when I mention tower running, sometimes people automatically imagine I'm running up the outside of the tower.
I actually did. When I read that, that's what I thought.
Yeah. So it's an easy mistake to make, but no, it's the inside stairwell. And it's so funny because when I talk to people about it and, tell them some of my times up certain towers, they go, oh, I could do that. And they either say that or they say, oh, I could never even make it to the top.
Yeah, that's me.
There's not an in-between. But it is the hardest sport you never heard of, is what I tell people. And it's even more popular in Europe. But it's all over the world. And I've gone to probably 20 different states doing it and did a world record climb over in Florida, and where me and 3 other teammates climbed for 24 hours. We took shifts, turns, and then we ended up climbing about 2.5 times the height of Mount Everest in 24 hours.
Oh my God.
So that was pretty amazing.
Well, come to the Midwest. We don't have a lot of skyscrapers, but we do. My husband
I have a step mill at the gym.
My husband did do the first national. I think it was in Omaha. Is it called the First National Tower?
Yeah.
He did do the up
one of those
years ago.
But. I mean, I've done time on the step mill before, and they've always got the little program where you can, do how many flights of steps you went out, and then they would compare it to the different heights of different buildings. But I mean, so what amount of time are we looking at to go up 105 flights of stairs for the Sears Tower? I mean, how long does that take somebody that trains for it or untrained for it? What's the average there for that?
Oh gosh, if you're untrained and your normal fitness, it takes about 40 minutes. And I did it in 15 and a half. And then one of my best buddies, tower runners, who literally can't feel pain. He's got a condition, I guess. But he does it in 12 and a half. So, and that's about the fastest anybody can do it.
So do you use like a step mill then to train for that? Or do you go inside, or a combination of both? Like, do you have buildings that you train inside, or what's your preferred training method to get prepared for an event like that?
Buildings is the best because that's the most sport specific. So there are several skyscrapers in Seattle that we trained in a lot. We got in one of them because somebody worked there, but unless you have somebody that can let you in the stairwell, it's kind of high security and you're not able to really do that unless you know how to sneak in.
Sure. Oh my gosh.
I do.
This is getting intense.
Probably half a dozen of them.
At that point, you're just running from security. So
you're gonna
exactly, yeah.
You can outrun them, no problem. That's fine.
Me.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as I'm running up.
And you just go at the top, elevator down, you're out. Nobody even knows.
Right.
That's my question though. When you are done running up a tower, do you take the elevator down?
Always. Now, there are some tower runs. Yeah, there are some tower runs that do up and down.
Okay.
And that's fine. But here's the thing: the problem with the down is it's really high impact.
Yeah.
And so it can be hard on the joints. So it's not something that you'd want to do a lot. But I tell people that going up the tower never makes you sore. It's the going down the tower.
Yeah, sure.
Because as you know, Sarah, it's the eccentric contraction that makes you sore. And when you're going up, it's concentric only. Mm-hmm. So I can climb a tower all day like I did in Florida and I'm not sore at all. But if I go down a tower once, I'm sore for 4 days.
Oh yeah. Right.
Oh wow.
Absolutely. Yeah. Just because of all of that impact. Now, how many steps at a time do you typically do when you're running?
2. So
every
you're
other.
Skipping a step with every step. Yeah.
Okay. Every other.
Yeah.
That's
and different buildings are different because sometimes the landing is big enough where you have to take 2 or even 3 steps. But the goal is to stick to the inside rail. And if you can just take step once on the stairwell or on the landing,
just spin around.
And it's like another stair. And that saves a lot of time. Because if you can imagine 104 floors, if you're double stepping every landing, that's a lot more steps and it's a lot slower. So there's a lot of strategy to it too, as well as rail technique. Some people think that it's cheating to use the rails, but no, that's part of it. If you're doing tower running right, when you get to the top, your legs, of course, are exhausted, but so are your arms.
Because you're using those to help pull up. Now, do they do like a timed entry into the stairwell? I mean, how do they do that? Is it, one in every set amount of time? I mean, how does that process work? Because surely you don't want to get like a bottleneck, right, at any point. So
exactly. And everybody who is a competitive tower runner will start first. And then, so all of us line up in the beginning at the front. So tower runs usually start in the morning at some point, 7, 8, or 9 a.m. And so we're there first. And the organizers usually know that the competitive people go first so they don't get caught in the bottleneck with, other people that aren't competitive. And then we all know each other. And so we know who is faster and who is slower. And so we line ourselves up. And everybody's a really good sport. Nobody's fighting over spots.
Yeah.
And so we line ourselves up in order so we're not creating our own bottleneck. And that keeps it so we only typically see 1, maybe 2 people the whole climb up. So if I'm number 3 and I'm having a really good day, I might pass up number 2 and number 1. But if I'm having a bad day, I might get passed a couple times. But we all know how to do that.
Yeah.
To be nice and let them by and all that kind of stuff. And like I say, everybody's a really good sport because it's an amateur sport. There's no money involved. And in fact, it costs us a lot.
Yeah.
People refer to me sometimes as a professional tower runner, but that would infer that I'm making money at it, which there's no money. No. There's only money to be spent.
It's just a really expensive hobby.
It is, exactly. Yeah. But in amateur sports, typically everybody's really nice to each other.
Yeah.
It's only the pro sports where you have an income that you're your competitors and you don't, then things start to get weird.
True. Yep. Because amateur sports, everyone's paying to be there.
Yeah.
You know, you just want to be able to have your best race and just go. And well, this is very intriguing just because it's different. I love new things.
Should we try a tower run? Should that be our next
what?
thing?
I would actually probably do that way before I would ever choose to train for like a full marathon again.
Really?
For sure. Yeah. I absolutely would be way more interested in doing something like this.
I don't know. I would need some convincing.
But I mean, this is no joke. Like, I mean, I already know anymore that I haven't spent a ton of time on the step mill, but like
I've never been on a step mill.
Getting a pace and even like the first 10 minutes, I mean, it's wild. And it would be hard to train on a step mill because you'd want to train going every 2 steps. You know, I mean, that you're kind of doing like every step at a time, like every now and then. But, you know, if you're kind of trying to actually run to get that gait up there, like that would be hard to train, I think, on.
So Nacho Fitness Coach at First National Tower.
Do they have a tower race there?
Yeah, they do.
Oh, that was the one that Jeremy did. It was official. It wasn't just I went. Okay. Well, how many floors is it? Do you remember?
I don't know.
All right. Let's.
It's Omaha, probably.
Probably not very many. I would be way more interested in doing that than anything.
Empire State Building.
You know what though? Like if I have a reason to go, see, we went through a period of time where we did races, and sometimes it's just a race it's a reason to go see a new city, a reason to do something. It's sometimes, I mean, it helps for me just to have a reason to do things. Like when you don't feel like you want to get your workout in, if you're like, well, but I've got this race, you know, I really need to make sure that I am getting it in and doing everything. And so that has always been a really good driver for me is finding something that's a reason to just still make sure you're getting it done.
For sure.
So I would go to Chicago to do the Sears Tower. I mean, it's kind of sad to me that it's not called that anymore. It will forever be the Sears Tower in my mind, I think.
Yeah,
probably.
me too. Totally.
But anyway, so okay. Well, I feel like
there's lots more to talk about.
There is way more to talk about.
The tower thing is interesting. That's not why we had PJ come on necessarily.
No.
Well, yeah, but let me just make sure that I fully answer your question about training, because the tower's the best training, but a Jacob's ladder is amazing.
Oh.
The step mill is amazing if you're not hanging on to depending on the handles, because you see a lot of that and they go arm lockout and then they're hanging from their arms as they're climbing this thing. That's not what you get to do on a tower run.
Yeah.
So you want to be as light as possible with your hands to make your legs do all the work. And it is possible to double step on a step mill.
Okay.
It takes some getting used to.
Sure.
Because your back foot is starting to fall off.
Right
when your front foot gets on.
Right.
But it's possible.
Okay.
And it is a good training aid. And then the VersaClimber is also an amazing training aid for tower running.
I mean, this might just be the reason that kicks me over the edge of investing in a Jacob's ladder for our gym, because we do own a gym and it's been on the list, but I do also have like a really high end, like leg press, like a bilateral or unilateral leg press on my wish list too. But a Jacob's ladder, I do think would be no joke. So it's basically like a rotating ladder that is a piece of cardio equipment, but you can use it then. And it's kind of like the step mill that has the never ending staircase. This is like a never ending climbing up a ladder.
Dang.
And it's intense. It really is.
Sounds like it's
full body. Yeah. Which is good. Yeah, it's good. So, okay. So we've got PJ on. He's got an innovative approach to fitness that he does. Do you do it exclusively out of the gym, the X Gym? Is that where your training exclusively occurs? Like, give us a little bit of background on kind of how all this came about.
Well, So we do it in the X Gym in Kirkland, Washington, but we also do a lot of online training just all around the country and even the world when people are on trips. And then we have the app. So there's a workout video app that we also have that people can do worldwide, obviously, because it's an app. So those are the 3 ways that we train. How it started was when I was getting my degree in exercise science, I discovered that traditional training was invented in 1891 by Eugene Sandow, who's a famous European strongman.
All right, I think it's time for a quick break.
Be sure to check out our website at nachofitnesscoach.com, where you can purchase merch and listen to all previous episodes. And we're back.
And he was buffed and he was strong. He was making a lot of money. And so all the other guys in the late 1800s were skinny dudes, and they wanted to look like Eugene. So they finally wore him down and talked him into giving up his secrets. And that's how traditional training, sets and reps, was born. And it's still really good for bulking up. So for the people that want to get jacked and bigger, I tell them traditional training all the way, but make sure it's really intense, because, you know, you can only get out what you put in.
Yeah.
And so Eugene was a genius with that. And however, nowadays, most people just want to get toned and defined. They don't want to get huge, and they want to look and feel like a fit person, and they want to be able to do fun, active stuff. So what I set out to do was to develop a methodology that would tone and define without bulking, would give people a real practical, functional strength, and would be a time hack, save people time, because traditional training is a pretty big time commitment if you want to get to a high level.
Yeah.
And then also to reduce injury, because traditional training, repetitive strain injuries, heavy weights, ballistic motions can also cause injuries. And I was kind of a CrossFit guy before it was called CrossFit, back in the mid 80s. And it was perfect for me then, because in that stage of my life, it was exactly what I needed to really get me going, to get the momentum built up, and made me fall in love with fitness and all that kind of stuff. But I was getting hurt, and that was kind of annoying. And so then when I graduated from SPU with my degree, I trained clients mostly out of their home. So I was driving around to rich people and training them in their home gyms. And so the most valuable thing I learned from getting my degree was how to read scientific research and how to know if it's a good study or not. Because just because it's in a journal really doesn't mean anything. And so I would find the good studies, and I set out with my 3 goals that I mentioned to invent something new. And it took me 11 years, and my clients were my guinea pigs, but they thought it was fun because it's different, and we're trying things. And it finally got to 21 minutes twice a week was the ideal duration and frequency. So it was saving them time too, which they were really excited about. And it got to the point where I had to scale myself. So I opened the X Gym in 1998. And then since then, we've expanded and moved and added online training in the app. And that's kind of the story.
I like it, because I always feel like that is a huge obstacle for people to get over, is when they see workout plans and or even group fitness classes, and they're like, oh, it's 60 minutes long. And I'm like, who's got time for that? Because always in my head too, that's been a huge mental barrier. An hour is a long time to me.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and so it's I've always said 30 minutes is the max sweet spot. So you're even beating that and getting down to
21 minutes twice a week. I think it's probably intense enough that I might die.
Right.
Yeah. It's pretty intense. And sometimes people do look like they're dead at the end.
I thought you were going to say sometimes people do die. I was like, oh no. We've lost a few.
But, the saving grace is the safety of it.
So nobody's died.
Because no,
Okay.
so nobody's died.
I'm going to apologize for her. I can't take her anywhere, PJ. I just.
We got worried a couple times because a couple times people did pass out.
I might be your first. So
yeah. But it was mostly just dehydration. So in both cases.
Oh man.
Which was a shame. But they're fine, and they came back.
Okay.
And,
all right.
The other only negative outcome might be puking, but again, that's only really happened a few times, and it's because of neck tension, not because of rhabdo or anything like that. It's because they're trying really hard because it's really intense, and sometimes some people can hide their neck tension because if we see it, we'll catch it and we'll tell them what to do to not do that. But sometimes they're hiding it so much, and then it clamps down on that vagus nerve and causes the upchuck. But,
oh my gosh, a little puking never hurt anybody.
Well, no, and it's only been half a dozen times since 1998, so it's not like a common occurrence or anything.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But
I mean,
our group training is also 21 minutes because we do small group training as well.
Okay.
So it's a huge time hack.
So it's go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that the whole 21 minute thing is because for a while it was 20 minutes. That's how we started it. But then people every once in a while would complain if we were talking about nutrition or something, and then it was turned into 25. And they, hey, I thought this was 20 minutes. And we're like, well, sorry for the extra help. And so then I was talking to one of my psychologist friends, and he said, well, if you're usually going over 20 minutes because you're trying to add value, how about just say it's 21? Because now it's not that round 20-minute number. And psychologically, they might not mind if it's 25. And lo and behold, he was right. And
that's crazy. Well, because you see all those, like, how do you feel about it with it being an uneven number?
Well, and then marketing, that's huge for price. Like they say never, I mean, it was always, $19.99 forever. And then now it's actually come out where it's like you should have everything ending in a 7.
So there's some science behind it.
Yeah, there is. Absolutely.
Well, because then you hear, you got your 8-minute abs and your
always something. 21. I mean, my head goes to like 3 rounds of 7. I mean, who knows? I'm sure that has nothing to do with your workout, but at least you're like, okay, I don't know. Yeah, you can process it differently. It's kind of interesting, but I love that there's some psychology mindset, things that you kind of incorporate into because habits and all that stuff, because it all plays into it for sure.
Yeah. Oh, there's a ton of psychology that's in this. Because of our methodology, going, time under tension, staying in contraction until complete muscle fatigue. And it's a big, huge mental thing to get through that. And you get better at it. And I tell people, hey, this is a methodology. So when they come in for their intro session, I say, expect to suck at this. Yeah. Just like you would if you went to a new karate studio for the first time. You're going to be horrible at it. But then you're going to get better as you learn the methodology. And that's how it is here. And then as you get better, you're able to put more into it. Then you can get more out of it. Mm-hmm. And it just snowballs.
So is it the same? Sorry, sometimes I need things brought down to an elementary level. Is it just the same workout over like every time?
No.
Okay. The only thing that's the same is that it's around 20 minutes.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
I mean,
yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's always 21-ish minutes,
but it's different
depending on
Okay.
But so for one-on-one people, they're going to have a customized routine based on their goals, maybe a bad shoulder or something we have to work around that they came to us with or whatever, because we love healing stuff too. And that's why physical therapists like to send us so many people. But for the one-on-one people, that routine is going to last them 14 workouts, which is about 7 weeks. For group training, we change it every month.
Okay.
So we change the exercises every month for group, and we change the exercises every 14 workouts for the one-on-one. But every time we change the exercises, we're also changing the method. And by method, I'm talking about the first layer is slow motion. So we go 7 seconds concentric, 7 seconds eccentric. And then we do that for 14 workouts or for a month with group. Then we go to the ratchet method. So instead of a smooth 7 seconds up and a smooth 7 seconds down, now we've got 7 stops on the way up to the top of the range.
Really hard.
Oh, God.
And it's really hard. And 7 stops coming down. And the third one is Turendos, where you got a slow start, accelerate up to a fast finish, down 2 inches stop, up 1 stop, down 2 stop, up 1 stop, down 2 stop, full stops down to the bottom. Pause, slow start, accelerate up, 2, 1.
I'd rather run up a tower.
Yeah. And those are just 3 of the 7.
Oh my God.
And the reason that we do that is because every month or every 14 workouts, if they're getting this new routine, their brain is learning something new and their nerves are doing something new, which improves coordination, which makes them focus. So the prefrontal cortex is highly engaged the entire time, like meditation. So it's great for the brain. It's great for the nerves. People get better at sports, and coordination improves, balance improves, all this stuff because their nerves are working just as hard as their muscles.
Yeah.
And because our methods keep everybody in tension, meaning, like a squat, for instance, it'd be body weight to start with because these methods are so hard. Body weight is enough. So nice and low at the bottom. And then the top, you're really just going up 2/3 of the way. So you're not totally straightening up at the top or locking anything out. You're down here at the top. So you stay in tension. Your muscles never relax.
Yeah.
For the method reps, which takes about 2 minutes. So you're spending 2 minutes in tension. And then by about that time, if we got, sometimes maybe if someone has dumbbells or we've added a weight vest or something, if body weight isn't enough, because we want to get that person to fatigue, failure really, within the method, that first 2 minutes. Then we have another minute. And with that last minute, we use our splinter technique. So maybe it's pulses, maybe knees, like for the squat, maybe it's knees wide, knees closed, maybe it's toe taps. Maybe we'll throw 5 or 6 of those methods at them to keep them going, even though they've failed and they can't get to the top and now gravity is sucking them down. We're still doing stuff. And if we switch up these methods, then their brain has something new to do, which is a distraction, which breaks their pain pattern. That's all pain is. It's just a pattern.
Yep.
And then we can keep them going longer for endurance, but also for strength, because the burn leading up to the complete muscle fatigue is endurance training. And then at the end, when they fail, is strength training. So we're doing both together in one exercise and in one workout instead of having to separate that out into different workouts.
See, now we had one episode that was kind of completely unplanned, but it just kind of came up, and I made Kaylee do a minute of a wall sit, and she thought she was going to die. Like it was like the hardest minute of her life. Cause correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I don't think you've ever done a wall sit before.
No.
Probably not. You probably skipped out of that in elementary school PE. Like you just probably.
I don't even think I went to school that day. You know what I mean?
You're like, what is this? And then you look at it surface level and you're like, that can't be that hard.
It's just so funny because I do lift weights fairly consistently, but we have guests like this on and then all of a sudden I'm like, I've just got like, I'm just doing like Mickey Mouse Clubhouse in my basement.
Right.
Dang it.
Right. It's time to step it up a little bit.
Well, I told you, let's work out together. You keep pushing me out.
Oh my goodness. We should just do this for a month. He's got the app.
We might. I
mean, this would actually be really good for me right now too, because a few months ago I had a herniated disc, and so I had neck surgery, and I still have not yet been cleared to do anything other than body weight stuff, and it's killing me. I'm trying to do like what I can on my own, and I just am a pretty active person, but like this would be the perfect answer in a situation like this.
You and me, twice a week for 21 minutes.
Why do we have to do it together? Can we just say?
Because I enjoy being around you.
I don't want to do it with you in the same room.
Okay.
This is enough. Okay. No, I'm kidding. Can I just like text you and say, okay, I'm doing it now, and then you can?
No.
You want to get together and do it in person together?
Yeah, like if one of us maybe owned a gym or something, you know.
It's just if one of us happened to actually have a space,
right,
where we could get to. I mean, I have 2 spaces actually that we could.
So,
okay, so with that, we're gonna take just a quick little ad break.
If you're enjoying our podcast, please subscribe and leave a 5-star review wherever you're listening. Okay, we're back.
Okay. I mean, this would actually fill a good space for me right now, because it would be challenging.
Yeah.
I know I would suck at it because I'm like detrained with any of this stuff a lot, but it would actually give me a chance to kind of do some things a little differently. And I love the twice a week for 21 minutes because it is just so easy for people want to get into a routine, moving their bodies, but then they have these just insanely lofty goals and life is busy.
Yeah.
You know, like it is really busy and it is just, but you can carve out 20 minutes, 21 minutes with twice a week. Just, are you coming to me so I don't have to carve out drive time? Sure. Okay.
Well, the other thing about the app is you can either do a 21-minute workout and select that, or you can select just an exercise that's 3 minutes. Oh. So what a lot of people like about the app is that flexibility, because if they have, like, they just want to take a break and they're burning out with work and, oh man, I got to take just some sort of a break. So maybe they'll stop and meditate or grab some water or something.
Get on TikTok.
Yeah, you know.
I love a break.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, everybody should do that for sure. But a lot of people will notice that they're getting kind of sluggish and they don't have time for a nap. Exercise would be better than a nap anyways. But a 3-minute exercise is perfect. So people will stop what they're doing. They'll pick up their phone. They'll pull up the app. It's actually a web-based app, so it's not even through the App Store. It's just on our website. And then they just do one exercise. They pick, okay, that looks good right now. And they do that exercise, 3 minutes, not enough to get sweaty really or anything. And so they can do that in the middle of work. And now they're energized and they get their brain is clear and they get refreshed. And so a lot of people like it for that aspect too.
You know, I have the Rise app on my phone to track like sleep and energy and the circadian rhythm and all that stuff. And like if I'm going out really quick or hustling or doing something where it's like I'm getting a fast kind of run, walk or whatever going on, it'll be like, ooh, we're noticing through, because it's connected then to my Apple Watch. Oh, we noticed that you're getting in some exercise. You just got an energy boost now for like, you know, it's like this little lightning bolt or whatever. I'm like, it doesn't take a whole lot. Yeah. For you to get some really positive benefits over the energy boost. And it doesn't have to be this huge amount of time that you're carving out that you have to change and, you know, get through going in the car, having an extra stop. Like you can just do it right there. And if it's on your computer, then it looks like you're still working. Kind of. I mean, you're moving your body, but...
Yeah.
Sneaky. Oh my goodness. Okay. So, I mean, that you kind of alluded to it a little bit, like the nerves and the mindset and all that stuff that's kind of with it. I mean, talk a little bit about how all of that kind of came into play through the whole methodology. Just getting people to kind of retrain the brains, the nerves, how much that can benefit you as you know, you're kind of going through this. So
I was actually a psych major before I switched to exercise science. And so I switched my senior year, which kept me there an extra year, but my dad was a professor at SPU. So I got 95% off tuition.
That helps.
It didn't really matter.
That helps.
Yeah. But I've always had a passion for psychology. And then my mom was diagnosed in the year 2000 with early onset Alzheimer's. And so I dove into the research. I've always been a research nerd. I spend at least 2 hours a day forever, just studying the studies, just because I can't help it. I have to. And it's so interesting. And so I dove into the brain research even more than what I already had and learned a ton, and then implemented a lot more of that into the training because of the benefits, just using your brain and learning new things and hard things, especially because whenever you're working your brain, when it starts to become really frustrating and when most people quit, that's when the great, wonderful results start happening. So if people can get to the point where they're learning a new language, or they're trying to learn a dance or something that's really frustrating, and they feel like they're up against the wall, as soon as they hit that wall, what they need to reprogram their mind and set up their reticular activating system to notice is that wall. And so they can stop and say, oh, great. Okay, this is where I really need to push. Even if I'm only banging up against the wall and not making progress, it's still good for my brain. And so I also wanted to develop a methodology that helps people with their brains for neurological issues like Parkinson's and MS and Alzheimer's. And so there's a post on my website about that, and where people can see the 5 top things to do, and exercise, of course, is one of those. But I also developed a brain type test because, and thanks to Mom, and all this research is how that kind of happened. But I developed, so when I was studying all this brain stuff, I realized that when people have a mental block with their exercise, maybe it's just they're bored, or they hit a plateau, or they ran out of motivation, they forgot their goals, or whatever the case may be, or with nutrition, they're dealing with cravings or more emotional eating or something like that. That's really hard issue. So what I discovered in all my studies was that not all brains are the same, but they can be divided up to about 16 different brain types. And so I've devised a 20-question test. It's a really fast 20-question test where people can find their brain type, and then they get their own custom hacks for struggles they're having, because certain brain types have certain struggles. And so these brain training techniques that they're assigned are what helps them get through their typical struggles. And those techniques are going to make sense to their brain wiring because they're designed for their brain type. So what a common mistake that a lot of personal trainers make is they find what has worked for them.
Yep. Agreed.
And then they tell all their clients to do that. And then their clients try, and some of them succeed, about 20%, but usually about 80% don't. And they come back to the trainer and they say, I don't know, I can't do it. I don't know what's wrong. And the trainer can sometimes say, come on, just suck it up and have willpower. Because they don't understand that their client is a different brain type than they are.
Right.
What works for them might not work for that client.
Absolutely.
20% chance it will, but 80% it won't. And so this brain type test it's also a tool for trainers to figure their people out and see how differently they think, and then help them differently.
That's amazing. I absolutely love that, because I am a big, firm believer in, I homeschool my kids just for the simple fact that you put them into a public school system where all these kids are supposed to learn the same way on the same day at the same time. And that just doesn't, everybody is different, and everybody's not going to learn the same way.
I'm just over here wondering what your brain type is.
I know. Honestly, I wish I could just switch brains with you for a day, because I'm like you. Like when I tell you, I can't join Taekwondo with the rest of my family because the way that my brain doesn't work that way.
That's literally the conversation we had earlier. And I'm like looking at her like she's
like,
an alien.
Suck
and
it
I'm like,
up, just do it. And we're so different. But, you know, and there are a lot of things like.
What would you do if we took the brain type test and we actually do have the same brain?
We don't.
I know we know that. That's probably true.
No chance.
You know, I gave this test to an executive and his two top, you know, number 2 and number 3 under him. They all had the same brain type. And I said, wow, you guys must clash a lot. And they go, yeah.
Yeah.
I said, you might want to find some more people.
Yep.
I'm not saying fire anybody, but you might want to find some people that have different brains.
Oh my gosh. Well, and I think that's part of, you know, Sarah and I, for whatever weird reason, I think we end up working well together because
we're not the same. We're like polar opposites in so many ways. But it does work. And that is actually kind of crazy because you talk about that. And it's kind of one of those things where you learning more about other people makes it so much easier to interact with them or understand them or just, I mean, not everyone is the same. No. I mean, there's a 1 in 16 chance that you're going to meet somebody that has your same brain type. But, you know, like, there's a lot of people out there and there's a lot of people
and even a lot of factors outside the 16.
Well, that's only part of their story. Right. I mean, that's the way your brain type is. Right. But I mean, there's all kinds of other like factors that go into people, their mindset, their ability to change, how well they'll adapt to new situations. You know, you probably even take a look at like history of like trauma and how, you know, a new exercise program can unlock certain things or, you know, help certain, whatever. I mean, this is such a complex thing. It
is.
And it
turns out humans are very complex.
Turns out we just are not the same. There's not this like cut and dry. No. Like we don't come with the owner's manual.
No.
You know, and unfortunately, raising little human beings would be really nice in my stage of life if they did come with an owner's manual.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
But, you know, you talk about like working with clients, like that is a super frustrating thing. Like, trying to understand and meet them, you know, because just whatever did work for you doesn't work for everyone else.
Right. Exactly.
So I'm like loving this idea right now just because it's,
you know,
it's what I can do right now. Like I mean, this has actually been really hard to listen to a medical provider's recommend. Like I'm like, oh, I did also have neck surgery.
Are you okay?
So am I okay? I don't know if I'm okay. I mean, I don't know. Am I okay?
I just want to check in with you.
I mean, the last x-ray I did, I hadn't messed anything up yet. Like the screws were still there.
I just mean like overall, like, your mental, how are you doing?
Not really. I mean, because I still like, I mean, I've had to go through all of track season and I'm not supposed to be throwing implements, which doesn't set well with me. I mean, I'm not saying that I haven't thrown an implement, but it just, but yeah. So, you know, it's good.
Are you javelin?
I did throw javelin in college, actually. I right now I coach middle school track. So in our state we have shot and discus. But I am holding out that our state will allow javelin at the high school level. Someday would be great. But I did throw hammer and weight then also in college. So
I threw in college also. I actually threw up. I actually threw up Red Bull vodka quite a bit.
That was her sport. You didn't go to college. No, I'm such a liar. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So, you know, and especially with like 7th and 8th graders, it's been really hard because they've never touched an implement before. This is the very first time. And I'm like, you're trying to describe stuff. I'm like, just give me that thing. It'll be fine. Just try not to move my neck too much. So you know, it's all good, but yeah, so that's good. You know what a javelin is? I mean, there's a lot of people that don't, so that's good.
Yeah. Well, I go back to the day when we still had those in high school.
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, they had them and then they kind of went away in high school for a while. And like when I went to college, it was only in 2 states. It was Illinois and Kansas in the late 90s when I went through college. And so we just happened to have a Kansas school in our conference and those girls were really good because they've been throwing. But now I think there's all but like 11 states that don't have it now back in high school. So
because they're sharp? What's the deal?
they are. I mean, yeah, I think it's a combination of just general safety, and you have to have space to be able
Were
to
people
throw
getting
one too.
impaled by?
I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, I think there's just, we live in a time where we want to put our children in bubble wrap.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Right.
the problem. Right.
I mean, yeah, we just.
Okay.
So you talk about like mental toughness and things like that. I actually just had a conversation earlier today just talking about an ability to kind of fight through uncomfortable situations, pain. Okay, so with that, we're going to take just a quick little ad break. Follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Nacho Fit Coach.
Okay, we're back.
So, knowing that your methodology kind of incorporates that is really super fascinating because it's missing from a lot of people's lives.
Well, and I think when you go through your day without having, and I think that's kind of the idea behind ice baths. We've talked a little bit about cold plunging and ice baths, and I'm realizing I don't do it, but I have one in my basement that my husband uses. So I've been tempted a couple times.
The mental side.
But it is just like when you put your brain through these certain challenges, then the rest of the things don't seem as hard, like you.
Bingo.
Yeah. You retrain your brain to think like, no, that was hard. What I did this morning, got in the ice bath for 2 minutes. That was hard. Or I lifted, or like, like I pushed myself lifting weights and then, the rest of school drop off or whatever I've heard is hard, but stuff like that.
Oh my gosh.
Stuff like that doesn't it doesn't stress you out as much.
Yes. There's studies that show if you do something, if you're if you're stuck at work and you're finding something very difficult that you can't really push yourself to somehow do.
Yeah.
Stop and do something physically hard.
Right.
And then try again.
Yeah.
And you'll notice now that ceiling has been moved up.
Right. Well, because we're not being chased by lions anymore like we used to be back in.
We did. We were.
Like we used to be.
We used to be. Yeah. I mean, so I've been told.
Everything is so easy. And then so everything is so easy. So everything feels so much harder. You know what I mean?
Is that what it is?
I think so.
It's true.
Yeah.
It is true. Yeah. Everything is so easy now. And it's only been in the last 50 years, really, that things have become super easy because
our brains weren't built for that.
No. We were meant to work hard at stuff, physical labor stuff.
Yep.
Not all these super easy buttons and cars and computers and iPhones and all this kind of stuff.
So it's like our brain is craving the harder, challenges.
Do you know what used to be really hard?
Yeah.
Listening to that dial-up sound to get to the internet.
That was like music. I used to have a little dance I would do to it,
Oh my God. Why did it have to be so screeching and horrible?
I just made the best of it.
Yeah.
That was hard. That life was hard. I'm like, kid,
was a hard life.
This is not slow internet.
And you would try to sneak downstairs. You would try to sneak downstairs in the middle of the night, and then you get caught because your parents could hear the dial-up.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, those were the days. Sometimes I just wish that we could go back.
That was hard.
And that was hard. That was way hard.
We turned off our kids' internet this past week. We just turned off Wi-Fi. We told them it was broken. And they really went through it. They really went through it.
Oh yeah, so hard. Did they actually
really
go
hard.
outside and play?
They did. They got along. They played. It was actually really amazing. I think our internet's going to break a little bit more often.
Oh yeah, ours. Yeah. I mean, we take things away a lot very quickly.
I know you do.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I have something to say about this whole mental toughness thing, and can I share my screen?
Yeah, I'd love to see it.
So let's go with, here it is. Can you see this?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So if you go in that very center circle, that's your comfort zone.
Yep.
Now, everybody's different. So this comfort zone for a Navy SEAL would be a different size than for a coder that stays indoors all day and codes and then plays video games after work.
Yep.
Just on a couch most of the time. Nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying that they're different size comfort zones because one is, and it lives in a thermostat controlled environment, and the other one is, picking up logs in freezing water.
Yep.
So here's your comfort zone. Change never happens within this first circle here. Can you see my mouse moving? Okay. Change never happens here.
Yeah.
You have to get outside of this circle for change to happen. So you go outside of it, a little bit outside of it, into this 70% perceived exertion circle out here. It's still pretty easy. So it starts with your typical gym elliptical workout. You see those people, they're watching TV. They're not really working very hard. They're looking at the TV up on the wall, or they're reading a book. So it's better than the couch, a little bit better than the couch. So that's great. So they're out into this circle. And then a little bit harder than that is brisk walking. Then a little bit harder than that would be like a Zumba class. And then jogging. And then they get out to the 80% perceived exertion circle where they're running. And then maybe they're doing high intensity training or high intensity interval training. And then they're getting out to the competitive athlete intensity of 90% perceived exertion.
Yeah.
And so you can see as you get further out from this comfort zone in this first circle, some results happen, but with fast adaptation. So that elliptical is only going to work for a couple of weeks, and then you're going to plateau.
Yep.
Then you go out into the next circle. Now you're getting significant results with medium adaptation. You still got to change things up. Now you get out to the last circle here, the competitive athlete intensity, 90% perceived exertion. Now we're talking rapid results with slow adaptation.
Yeah.
But look, when you get out of the circles altogether, now you're in the unicorn zone. Now you're getting crazy results with Olympic athlete intensity, which anyone can do, by the way, because it's all relative.
Yeah.
Amazing results with little adaptation, and then push it even further out for insane results with rare adaptation, only if the routine never changes. And so it's all about getting away from this comfort zone, getting away from the thermostat controlled environment and the cars and the microwaves and the couches, out and make yourself uncomfortable.
Yep.
Because you can't get any kind of results unless you're willing to be uncomfortable.
Yep. Absolutely.
And then over here is how the X Gym works. So this is our time under tension arrow. So the longer you stay in tension, the further out away from your comfort zone you get. Now it starts to burn here. Then we got complete muscle fatigue here. And then we go beyond that with our splinter techniques. This is concentric failure. This is isometric failure. This is eccentric failure. So Sarah, you know what all that means.
Mm-hmm.
And then the goal is to really hang in there enough to get completely outside of all these concentric circles into the unicorn zone where crazy results start to happen. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool,
but it's all about getting, it's 100% getting out of your comfort zone. Yeah. That's where results happen.
Yeah.
But it's a learned process too. Nobody can, the programmer that spends time in a chair and a couch all day and orders food to be delivered can't get out here right away.
No.
That person has to do it in steps. Mm-hmm. Maybe the first step is to go outside their house and walk around it.
Yep.
And then the next step, when that's not so hard, is to walk around the block.
Yeah.
And then so he's building slowly but surely, and eventually he's out here in the unicorn zone, but it's a built process.
Well, and I feel like that's a really good point though, because so often it is that person that's in that comfort zone that wants to jump immediately to the outside, the very outside edge. And then they last there. The intensity is too much. Yep. Right. And then they're like, I can't do this, or I'm not, they like talk themselves out of it, or it's like it's too uncomfortable instead of just like working into it for that long-term kind of impact. So I love this graphic. Yeah, a lot.
Mm-hmm. And also certain personalities, they may have a sedentary job, but they're also an intense personality. So then they're going to they want to jump right into a CrossFit. Yeah. And they want to do everything that the trainer there tells them to do.
Yep.
And then maybe they get injured, or maybe they puke, or maybe they get rhabdo, and it's a really bad experience. And then that's a huge setback.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So you don't want that to happen either.
No, but this lays it out beautifully, just knowing, hey, you are making progress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One step at a time.
Totally. Yeah.
And you got to,
and that's a really good point, is to to recognize the progress that you are making and appreciate and celebrate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well,
That's
we
a
will
great
definitely
graphic.
share that graphic on our.
Yeah,
to our
I love
listeners.
that.
That's
And
awesome.
just, this is, I mean, this has been an amazing conversation and time. And I have loved learning about kind of your methodology. And so, I mean, my mind is already going to the point where like, we just need to go to the website and we should do a workout
together
right now. Like after we get done recording, I feel like we should do it. And then our next episode, we should talk about it.
Let's do it.
Don't you think that would be a good plan?
Do we need weights?
No.
Yeah. Well, no.
Not right away, not the first time.
You know, your first step should be to go to xgym.com and then type in the search bar home workout, and you'll go to our home workout page. And then there is free videos on that page that are kind of like the app. I mean, the app is just more polished than that, but that would be the introduction to body weight stuff.
Awesome.
Or I built that page during COVID when people were, at home all the time.
Yeah.
And that would be an intro to this style. Yeah.
Cool. I love that. All right. I feel like that's our homework.
Okay.
So, all right. Well, I learned a lot.
I did too. I
love this. This has been great. You're always learning. Yes. But the mindset thing is really important. And so I think this would be a great challenge for people too. If you're looking for something new, if you're looking to try something, like we'll link all your information kind of in the show notes. That way people know how to find you. They know how to find the website. They can kind of explore and poke around. But I mean, it's something that I feel like is worth giving a try. And, you can get your body moving a little bit, get your mindset adjusted, try something new that's hard, and just see where it takes you in life. Yeah. So.
Yeah, and it's not an all or nothing either. I mean, it's not only my stuff or only someone else's stuff. Most people do a combination of a lot of stuff. We have people at X Gym that also do CrossFit. We have people at X Gym that also do yoga. They also go to their regular gym because they do want to bulk up. So they do that, and it's supplementing. But it's something that can be added as a layer.
Yeah.
For certain goals and certain purposes. Yeah.
Awesome. I love that mindset of just thinking like it doesn't have to be all or nothing. It can be just picking and choosing and figuring out what works for you, and maybe certain times a day or different times of, different days of the week or whatever. Yeah. So awesome. All right. Well, we'll make sure everyone has a way to find you.
Yeah.
So
right on.
Do you have any other questions, Kaylee?
No.
I think this has been awesome. So thank you so much for your time. It's been a pleasure chatting with you and getting a chance to know you a little bit. So to be continued, we'll let you know the outcome of how this workout goes.
All right. Thank you, PJ.
We're gonna do it. All right. Thanks, PJ.
Okay.
We'll see you.
Bye.
All right. Until next time.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to head over to our Instagram at Nacho Fitness Coach and let us know how you feel about the topic. Do you love it or hate it?
Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe or follow button wherever you're listening. And if you like our podcast, leave us a rating. See you next time.
You've been listening to Euphony Innovatives Sonified.